la sesión. Felicidades, ya nada más les quedan 5 sesiones para completar este proyecto. Bueno, hoy tenemos el honor que nos acompañe, ahora sí con internet, ahora sí con una presentación con láminas en español, y René va a estar hablando en inglés para quienes no hablen inglés, pues les sea muchísimo más fácil poder entender lo interesante que nos va a transmitir. Hoy les preparé esta frase en esta presentación de René. Albert Einstein dice: la mente humana es similar a un paracaídas. Como mejor funciona es si la mantenemos abierta. ¿Y a qué los invito? Que tengamos nuestra mente abierta para conocer de René todas las opciones que vamos a tener, no solo los mexicanos, aquí sí es todo lo que es la ley de migración, que es abierta para todo el mundo. Bueno, esto es una pequeña introducción de René, toda la experiencia, todas las solicitudes que ha hecho relacionadas en migración. Les recuerdo que ella es una paralegal, ya está en proceso en la escuela esta, ¿no? Pero bueno, ¿cómo la presento? Una profesional responsable. René no estaba bien de salud. Hablé el viernes con ella, estuvimos trabajando con un cliente el sábado, me dijo: si es necesario trabajamos en domingo, Francisco, pero tenemos que atender a ese cliente. Y eso valoro mucho de René, no hay con que es fin de semana y no trabaja. La otra, bueno, tiene amplia experiencia migratoria, trabaja en un despacho migratorio ahí en California. Les comento que fue mi maestra en octubre de hace 3 años o 4, no recuerdo cuántos. Pero bueno, es muy buena maestra, explica muy bien. Y bueno, profesionista internacional AAA. Pero ¿cómo la presenta? Un gran ser humano. Me decía Francisco, ahora que estuvo enferma, duro 15 minutos llorando antes de hablar contigo porque no te puedo ayudar y sé toda la problemática que tienes con tus clientes. Y para eso yo le llamo que tiene mucha sencillez, porque me muestra sus sentimientos, me los expresa, me los dice. Bienvenida, René.
Oh. Buenos días a todos.
Buenos días.
Good morning. Ok, bienvenidos a todos. En Francisco, gracias por las amables palabras.
Okay.
You're too kind this morning. So, todos, lo siento, Francisco, DJs, yo hablo más o menos Spanglish. It's not Espanol, verdad? So, I will be speaking in English. I have written the PowerPoint presentation in Spanish. That way you can see what I'm talking about if you're not fluent in English. Okay, so today we are going to talk about some very exciting things. First, we're going to talk about immigration under the Biden administration and what we are seeing so far. And then we are going to talk about some of the options to immigrate with a green card through an employer, through your work. Okay, so in a little over 30 days, immigration under the Biden administration is already very different. Biden proposed a bill that it is not law. These are proposals only that include, that suggest that he wants to do a lot of things. Now, in the bill, many of those things no se puede. Pero the things that we think will be in the bill that will be good for our country and for people wanting to come to our country is Biden has spoken about granting amnesty to people who are in the United States, undocumented, and they have no status. So this would allow them to stay in the United States with their family. And his amnesty plan has a path for people that are currently here that are undocumented to become a U.S. citizen. People with DACA TPS and people who have been in our country as farm workers, if this bill passes, they will be able to apply for a green card immediately. And after they have held their green card for 3 years, then they too will be able to apply for U.S. citizenship. He's also stated that he's going to make more green cards available for families and for green cards through employment. Right now, there's a limit on those. That's it's not very high. So for him to say that he is going to make more available is muy bueno, no? And we've already seen him start to restore our asylum procedures to the way they were before and the way that the law was written. So again, in just about 32, 33 days, the feeling about immigration is much more welcoming. So that is that's what makes this so exciting right now, is that I think that we believe in the immigration industry that the next 4 years that things are just going to get better for immigration. Okay, I want to focus on now just, again, Biden's bill is just a proposal. It hasn't been sent to Congress, so it's not the law, but it is something for you to watch out and look, check out U.S. news over the coming months and the first year to see what the changes are. Okay, so now I want to talk to you guys about options that you may not have known that you had, that would allow a person, different persons with different skill sets to actually immigrate to the United States permanently through an employer. Okay, so we're going to talk about 2 categories specifically of employment green cards today. The first one we're going to talk about is the EB2 or the EB2 category. So this is for people with an advanced degree. So an advanced degree is a master's degree or higher. So, and the job that you apply for must require an advanced degree. It cannot be a job that just requires a bachelor's degree or an associate's degree. So it's a job that the employer is requiring that the person have a master's degree or a doctorate. Okay, so for this degree to be considered advanced, okay, a master's degree, or if a person only has a bachelor's degree, if they have a bachelor's degree plus 5 years of work after they've received their bachelor's degree in the work field, in work experience, then they may qualify. However, it is a little bit more difficult to do that. The standards are high in this category, but it's okay if you don't have a bachelor's degree and you don't have 5 years. Don't worry. We're going to talk about other options for you in the EB3 category. Okay, so no preocupado, no tienes un master's degree. Okay, now there are other conditions that need to be met, as with anything. You'll go through a labor certification process that can be a little bit timely, but we'll talk about the labor certification in a moment. Okay, the second category is for, in the EB2, is for persons with exceptional ability. So to be considered that you have exceptional ability, You must be able to show exceptional ability in the sciences, the arts, or business. Okay, so what we mean by exceptional ability is that you have a degree of means a degree of expertise, not necessarily an academic degree, just a high level of expertise, significantly above that of the ordinary people in that field. You know, so for example, Luis Miguel, is muy guapo, he sings beautifully, right? Todos amor Luis Miguel, ¿no? See, so,
Okay.
right, see, is mi novio secreto. Okay.
Okay, Renee, I know.
Everybody loves Luis Miguel. Okay, so, but this is an example of somebody of exceptional ability. So if Luis Miguel wanted to move to the United States, he would easily qualify to obtain a green card in this category because he meets all the requirements such as international recognition, a significant achievement. You know, he's won various awards in music, right? So that's why Luis Miguel is such a good example because everybody knows who he is, right? And everybody knows that he is one of the highest regarded singers from your country. Okay, so those are the two categories. These are the higher requirements. These are the more big, I don't know, more difficult ones to qualify for. And there's less of the EB2 category available each and every year than any of the other categories. And that is in part because the requirements are so high. Okay, so the next category is the EB3. And within the EB3, there's 3 subcategories. So the first one that we're going to talk about is skilled workers. Now, skilled workers must demonstrate that they have at least 2 years of job experience or education or training that is relevant to the job that they are seeking to perform in the United States. Some jobs, on-the-job training will be enough, and some jobs will require at least 2 years of college or special training, such as, for example, in the United States, a welder, for example. If you're a welder, you have to have specialized training for that. That would be an example of someone having skills and being trained with 2 years experience or 2 years of trade school to learn that trade and they could possibly come in this category. Okay. The next category in the EB3 is professionals. Okay, so the professionals, this one is the highest threshold of evidence and requirements in this category. Lo siento. You must demonstrate that a person that comes in this category must show that they have a bachelor's degree or foreign equivalent, and that a bachelor's degree is the normal requirement for this job. You can't just say, well, okay, you must have a bachelor's degree to, I don't know, be a paralegal, for example. You don't need a degree for that. So that would be, if you are a paralegal without a degree, you could be a skilled worker, right? Pero maybe a law clerk would require a bachelor's degree. So the jobs can be similar. It just is about the requirements here. Okay. Now, with this category, it is not like the extraordinary ability where you could have an advanced degree plus 5 years. That's not an option here. You must actually have the degree. So work experience is not able to be substituted for a degree level. And of course, this is all of the subcategories in the EB2 and EB3 require labor certification. Okay. Then The third category, which is the category that a lot of people actually have come to the United States with a green card on, is the E-3 categoría. And so this is for, no me gusta las palabras in English, unskilled workers. No, that's not really accurate. All of, oh, lo siento is in English. I'm so sorry, Francisco. Inherent.
Okay.
No, I didn't. I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was in English.
Okay.
So maybe you can translate this one when I'm done real quick,
Okay.
Francisco.
Yes.
So to qualify in this category, the person coming to the United States has the ability to perform the unskilled labor, meaning that the job that they're coming to do that requires less than 2 years experience or 2 years training, and that the job is not temporary or seasonal in nature. It has to be a permanent year-round job. And again, just like the other ones, you have to go through the labor certification, and I'll explain that in just a minute. So do you want to just quickly translate that for them, Francisco?
Bueno, lo que dijo de la EB3 de trabajadores no calificados, que no le gustaba la palabra no calificados porque ellos saben alguna especialización. Necesitan al menos 2 años y muchos de los trabajadores que se van son porque pueden ser trabajadores esenciales y permanentes o pueden ser temporales o para una sesión. Todo eso lo establece la ley de migración. Y bueno, ellos requieren una autorización del Departamento de Trabajo, que es lo que ahorita voy a explicar. Adelante, René.
Okay, gracias, Francisco. Okay, so let's talk about the labor certification and the normal long wait for a green card. So labor certification is a process that the employer in the United States goes through. They go through proving that they're going to pay this person the same that they're going to pay U.S. citizens. They go through a process in the United States of recruiting people that are already here. Then, if no one is available, no U.S. worker is available to fill the position, right? Then, and they can prove that to the authorities, then they get approval or they get certification that this job is okay to bring a foreign national to the United States to work in it, because they've proven that there are no available U.S. workers in the United States that can take the job. Now, this in itself, the labor certification itself, it takes a long time sometimes. It can take anywhere from 90 days to 180 days by itself, okay? And that, that's the first thing that takes time. And the labor, going through the process of the labor certification is one of the first challenges for an employer who wants to bring someone to the United States, is that the labor certification and the recruitment is mucho tiempo, okay? Also, each year, there is a limit on the number of green cards that can be issued to people wanting to come to the United States. Now, because of this limit, normally there is a long backlog with green cards by January each year. Sometimes when the backlog comes, you'll see it's 6 months, a year, sometimes it's 2 years, sometimes it's 3 years, sometimes you'll see it back up as much as 5. However, due to COVID-19 or the coronavirus, there are currently green cards available. So this is a rare opportunity to immigrate to the United States without a long wait, because right now there are tens of thousands of green cards sitting in the employment-based categories, waiting for people to apply for and to claim, because as you guys probably already know, very few people immigrated last year because of the virus. And then, of course, Trump, he put a ban on anybody getting a green card. So because of that, as we came into the government's fiscal year, which begins October the 1st, we saw that that employment-based green cards for the country of Mexico became available, and they have stayed available because there hasn't been any. But I promise you, they're not going to stay easily available or a short time for very long. For example, it's only been a little over a year, right, Francisco, since I came to Mexico. And a year ago, when we looked at this, we were looking at least a 2-year backlog, just a little over a year ago, and now green cards are available. Okay, so why now? Why are you looking at immigrating now? Why is it important, and why is it perfect? Well, we have an exciting and very rare opportunity right now, okay? Because so much is going on. We have already seen rapid action from the Biden administration, and he's moved very, very quickly. He has already undone most of the really bad stuff that Trump had done, okay? We are already looking forward to welcoming new people to the United States because of these changes. So we know in immigration here in the United States that there are a lot of positive changes coming our way. So it's not just being excited right now about the things that have happened already, and that there's very rare opportunities in immigration now, but also we also know as the White House starts to post things that in immigration there's a lot of positive changes to come that I hope will heal the relationships between that were suffered under the Trump administration. So, you know, in the coming months and years, guys, it's going to be very interesting. There's going to be a lot coming out, and it's going to be exciting because you should be excited if you want to come to the United States that this is the time to be doing that. Okay, so as you guys know, Francisco and his team at ABC Global, they are readily available to talk to you as you explore your options, and as you go through the next several hours with Francisco and his team to discuss with them and really learn and see what your options are. Okay. Gracias, everybody. Gracias por su tiempo. Preguntas.
Okay, Renee, thank you. Very good, your presentation. Laura Duran is making a question, pero no le entiendo, Laura. No sé si tenga abierto el micrófono, Silvia, para que nos hiciera la pregunta. No entiendo su pregunta. ¿Me la puede hacer de manera auditiva, por favor?
Laura Francisco es de Facebook.
Ah, es que no le entiendo porque dice, ¿para quién se aplicará la ciudadanía? Me refiero a antecedentes y el tiempo que están allá y cómo emigraron. Es importante saber, por favor. Muchas gracias. Pregúntale, por favor. Mientras te dice ella, gracias, Silvia. ¿Alguno de ustedes tiene alguna pregunta, por favor? La pueden hacer en español o en inglés, como ustedes quieran. Si fuera en español, yo se la traduzco a René. Permíteme, René, permíteme.
Ah, está bien.
Okay. I have a question, René. Does the EV visas, are they suspended actually until March 31, or are they open right now?
They're open right now. Biden did repeal that and he said that he realizes that, that anybody, getting rid of that, there's obviously coronavirus concerns, but you know, anybody that is ready to apply now is not coming tomorrow, right? So, there is no ban right now. The embassies are starting to make appointments for the people that were in the interview queue before the ban on green cards existed. So they're slowly but surely catching up.
Bueno, la señorita Claudia González de Facebook is asking this. How long will take, more or less, the time, the immigration process in EB visas, Renee?
So right now, it's rare. So going through the labor certification process takes the employers at least 90 days, because at least 90 days, but it's usually closer to 6 months. And once the labor certification is complete and the approval is received by USC, and you can, have it ready to go with the packet, then the petition can be filed. The petition itself can be premium processed. So premium processing is USCIS has to give you a decision in 2 weeks, or they have to give you the extra feedback. But usually they decide in the 2 weeks, or they send you a request for more evidence. Either way, that time frame is very, very short. So then it's a matter of, is there a green card available when that happens? We believe that there will be by the time it happens. So after the labor certification and premium processing, it's how fast the embassy can process the green card. So all green cards, the interview is in Ciudad Juarez. So Ciudad Juarez is they're very busy, right? So from the labor certification, it can be anywhere from a year to a year and a half. So it can be anywhere from about a year and 9 months to as much as three and a half years, and even longer if there's no green cards available. So that's why the wait is lengthy, and why some employers sometimes struggle to wait to bring a foreign employee.
Ok, nomás para aclarar lo que dijo René, son diferentes procesos que hay que seguir para la gente de Facebook que está preguntando. Lo primero es, tenemos que sacar el certificado en el Departamento de Trabajo, y ese se puede tardar. Adicionalmente, para que salga más rápido, tenemos que pagar una comisión extra en el Premium Process. En el Premium Process, ahorita le voy a pedir a René que lo aclare, y una vez que ya sale el Premium Process, todavía hay que ir a Ciudad Juárez, y ahí hay que ver la disponibilidad de las citas. Could you please explain a little bit the premium process that the U.S. Citizen Immigration Service offer, Renee, please?
Yes. So the premium processing is available to certain categories of employment visas, both non-immigrant visas like your L's and your O's and your P's, but also to green card, to the first stage of the green card process, which is the petition. So for a fee, right now the filing fee is $1,440. When the fees go up, which probably won't be till later this year, it'll be higher, 2,000 something, but you pay a high fee for USCIS to process and approve or deny the petition in 2 weeks or less.
Okay, thank you.
And normally the petition would take anywhere from 6 months to a year to approve.
Okay, Laura Duran now is making this question. What is the request that the law made in order the illegal person can get a residence?
So if they are here, if a person is here now and they are undocumented, then if they were to be the immediate relative of a U.S. citizen, for example, the spouse or parent of a U.S. citizen, then they could apply for a green card through their family, and they would have to come back to Mexico and they'd have to get a special waiver to forgive them for the time that they've been in the country illegally. So that's one way. It's very difficult if you're here illegally to get a green card through employment, because you're still going to need a waiver for your time that you're here illegally. But to qualify for that waiver, you need a U.S. citizen parent or spouse anyway. And if you had a U.S. citizen parent or spouse, chances are you would have already fixed your papers.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Diego is asking if there is any special visas for the COVID, Renee?
No, there's no special visas for the COVID, and I'm not sure if he's asking for treatment to come or to visit family who might be sick. I'm not really sure what he's asking for, but there have been many instances where we've given what's called humanitarian parole to people, not with COVID, but for example, for people to come to the United States, and if their family, for example, is very, very sick from COVID. That's the only thing that we have done is, if somebody's very, very sick from COVID, then they get humanitarian parole, which you just have to come to a U.S. border and explain the situation and ask. But there's been a lot of humanitarian parole, especially from mid-January.
Okay, thank you, René. Diego está preguntando, para empresarios que quieren establecerse con un negocio de comida, Diego, le voy a responder yo esta. Ahorita René estuvo hablando de las visas de migrante. Usted renuncia a vivir en México y se quiere ir a vivir a los Estados Unidos. Sí hay visas si usted quiere ir a poner un negocio de comida, ya las vimos. Si usted le da a Silvia su correo o su WhatsApp, le vamos a enviar lo que es la visa E-2.